Okay, I'm here. Maybe I'm here. I'm not even sure anymore. Alright, that is very loud. Let's turn that down a little bit more, and I think we're ready to get started. Whew, are we ready to get started? Are you ready for me to do this? I'm not even ready for me to do this. And I can already see that I got JP in the chat. That's great. We're not even started yet, and JP's already here. That's what I like to see. I like having this background music on, but it is not balanced. It's too quiet, it's too loud, it's always something wrong. Anyway, we'll work with it. We've been working with it so far. Anyway, hello! Shadowcat back, and today we're working on black mages and white mages. No, it's not a racial thing, I promise. Not unless you're gonna make it one. Because I guess, you know, like, we can't have orcs now either, so we're have to go back to all the Final Fantasy games that have orcs in them, and we have to take the orcs out. Nobody's ever happy with anything. In the chat, we already have JP, we already have Blizz. Hello to both of you. And for everybody who is in the US and Canada, because I think it's about the only ones that actually do this, happy Memorial Day weekend. It's actually why I'm so busy this morning, is because it's Memorial Day weekend, this thing's going on, but neither here nor there. We're still here. We're still here, we're doing this. We will not be deterred. Let's see. Properties, yes, that's good. So, things that we're going to need. We need this. Oh, we can also get rid of this. We can put this up here. And we need this. That goes right there. And we are ready to... We're ready to do this. And JP says, thought you were going to be on the road this weekend. I thought so too. Here's the thing. My household has plans, and I told them that, look, you guys can have all the plans you want. I have a job to do, okay? Because, I mean, this... I do fancy myself to be a content creator someday and actually be able to make a living off of that. And that means that I actually have to do the job. Yeah, it's aggressive piano. This is an aggressive conversation. I can fix that, though. This is what I mean. It has no audio balancing at all. Anyway, though, they made plans. The problem is, when my household makes plans, with heavy air quotes on them, they are plans in only the vaguest degree, like, we're going to go somewhere for Memorial Weekend. Okay, where are we going? We don't know yet. When are we going? We don't know yet. You do realize it's tomorrow, right? Yes. And you still don't know what you're doing? No. So, I have to make my own plans accordingly, which means that, am I supposed to be on the road? Maybe, at some point, I don't know. But I have a job to do here. And so that's what we're going to do. We shall not be deterred. So now that that's done, let's see. We are going to be trying to make a white mage and a black mage. I think we're going to start with the black mage, because I think the black mage might be a little bit easier, actually. So, black mage. Oh, also, I cut my finger this morning. Now typing sucks. Roll, kill it with fire. That's easy. Alignment, any. You can technically be anything. Alright. So we've got that done. Now, as far as the black mage goes, let's take a look at it. Knight, archer, here we go. Priest, wizard, black mage. JP says ebony and ivory. Exactly. Alright, so there's our black mage. Very nice. Now, there's going to be a couple of things that we have to really address before we can do this. But we will work on it. So first thing, prerequisite is a level 2, or in this case a level 1, I guess, chemist. Yeah, let's just put this in here now. Level 1 chemist. Hit die. Well, hold on. Weapons are rods. Well, we don't really have rods. However, that does mean that weapon proficiency is going to be simple. Armor proficiency, clothes and robes, so none. Which means that, you know, if you're a chemist who becomes a black mage immediately, then you're going to have, like, no armor proficiency. Can't help you with that one. No shields, obviously. Base attack is going to be low, which means that we stick with the first column here. Just like that. Wait, what? What did I do? I don't know what I did. Okay, there we go. Oh, I know what I did. I accidentally left the slash in there, so it thought I was trying to divide by another cell. I mean, it is just a glorified calculator. It can only do so much. Alright, now since this is an actual wizard, why don't we go ahead and take a look at the wizard over here. So the wizard's base attack looks the same. As far as their saves go, we got 002, 003. There we go. And then third and fourth level, we've got 113, 114. And at the fifth level, it becomes a, let's see, 114, still 114, okay, that makes that easy. Alright, very good. Now we have to work on hit die, and the hit die for the black mage is, of course, going to be low. According to this over here, base HP is going to be a D6. Class skills, we can use the wizard for this. And we will just go... Copy this. We will paste it here. And we will just default format this. And there we go. There's the skills, and then skill ranks per level. We will also borrow that. That is 2 plus intelligence. There we go. Easy part done. Now, the harder part. Because black mages get a lot of things. And part of the problem here is we are going to be forced to work on the magic system now. That's going to require us to do a little bit of research. So over here, Base MP is high, base magic, high. I don't think we actually need to worry about magic. Because the fact that you can cast magic at all is what kind of makes them... them. What the real draw here is going to be base MP. And how much MP you have in general. So yeah, we're gonna have to work on this. So MP, I'm going to assume, has the same thing as the other ones, where it will have low, average, and high. So we're going to have to figure out exactly what is the cap on MP when it comes to the Black Mage here. Where would we find that? Let's see. Stats, MP. Alright, MP is magic points. That's obvious. And also not terribly helpful. Okay, what we need is the what we need is a grid that will show us how, or what the stats are for a level 100 Black Mage. I wonder if I can get that on my other screen. So, tactics, level 100 Black Mage. Nope, that's not going to be as easy as I thought it was. Yeah, it'll show me everything that this wiki already shows, but it does not give me the numbers that I want. Let's see, stats priority maybe? No, that's a Reddit thread. That's not going to be helpful. JP says infinite MP. No, they do not get infinite MP. Ah, but I wish I knew what they had. I don't know, maybe they don't have like a set number. I'm not sure. Let's see. This is unhelpful because this is Elden Ring. Why am I getting results for Elden Ring when I'm searching for Final Fantasy and Black Mages? This is not helpful. I mean, I get that it's an old game, but come on. Alright, well, if that's going to be the case, then I'm going to have to get creative. Not the first time I've had to get creative, but apparently I'm going to have to. Bliss says maybe triple the uses of higher level spells. So instead if 3 they have 9. I'm not sure I understand what you're saying. But either way, we're not doing this by use of spells like regular Pathfinder. We're going to be using an actual mana point system. So we have to figure out exactly how we're going to do this. me look at something. When we did the chemist, what's the chemist get for in terms of magic? He doesn't really get anything, and I don't have anything on here. Ooh, that actually may have been kind of an oversight on my part. Because I guess I probably should have had a slot on here for magic. Okay, well, then we'll have to add it to, we'll have to add it to the Black Mage as we're working on it. Alright, so here's what I'm thinking. Final Fantasy has number caps, just because of the way the system works. So, for example, the cap on HP tends to be 9999. I believe that the cap on MP was 999, because there was no thousands value for that slot, so you couldn't go above 999. Similarly, there was no 10,000 slot for HP, which is why you could not get to 10,000. The highest you could get was 9,999. If we can figure out what our highest MP value is going to be, then we should be fine. And then we'll just have to tailor all of our spells to that. So, if we go back from the Black Mage and take a look at the Chemist. The Chemist has average MP. Okay, and that's fine. So that means that you could probably hit level 20 and stay, like, exclusively within the magic classes. You could take one level of Chemist, then you could take a level of Black Mage, and you could go through the rest of them, because once you hit Black Mage, let's see, we'll open that in a new tab so we can make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, so you hit the Chemist, that's one level. You could do a level of Black Mage, a level of White Mage, that's 3, and both of those have high MP. The Time Mage will also have high MP, the Summoner will have high MP, and if you were to do 5 levels of just those 4, you could have, well, for the most part, except for the Chemist, you could have high MP the entire time. So that means that if we were to keep high MP the whole time, at level 20, you should have 1,000 MP. Okay? So, okay, here's what I'm thinking. Here is what I am thinking. So if we have 1,000 MP at the highest, and the max level is 20, okay? Then that means that if we were to go high MP the whole way, that would basically equal 1,000 MP divided by 20. What is that? Is that like 50? I think it's 50. I'm gonna double check. Yeah, that's 50. Okay. So, that means that for every level you take in a class that has high base MP, you should be getting 50 MP. Which is really good. I think this is really good. Because 50 means that if we wanted to, we could say that high MP could be 50, average MP could be 25, and low MP could be 0. Because after all, classes that have low MP so far don't use MP. So far, at least. The squire doesn't. The chemist doesn't. Neither one of them... Well, the chemist gets average MP, even though it doesn't use it. I don't know, I'm going to work with this for right now. We're going to throw this at the wall and see if it sticks. And Tux is here! He says surprise! I am surprised. Because it's Memorial Day weekend and nobody should be here. I was ready to do this entire thing by myself. Okay, so low is going to be 0. Average, 25. That also means that we're going to have to move some of this down. So we're going to move all of this down. I'm going to go ahead and combine this and just say magic points 50. And we'll just go ahead and center all of this. Alright, so every level of the Black Mage is going to get 50 MP. This means that we now have a baseline for what we can do with the Black Mage. This is actually going to be very useful for us. And it means that we can go ahead and I think even borrow some numbers from the game. Let's go ahead and close this. Let's go back to, oh, wait, go there. Let's go back to the Black Mage. Alright, so it's got high base magic, which I don't think really matters. Base HP, base MP. I also think that we should have some kind of bonus. I'm not sure what that bonus is going to be yet, but just like magic casters get bonus spells based on their stats, like wizards will get extra spells for having high intelligence, sorcerers will get extra spells for having high charisma, and clerics get extra spells for having high wisdom. I think we should get extra base MP depending on what your stats are. We'll work on that in a minute. For now, though, abilities. And there's a lot of them. Yeah, okay. Oh good. It lists the MP cost right here. Excellent. Needed that. Alright, so, let's start listing them. So, Fire, Fyra, Firaga, Firaja. Because these are all the basic ones. Then we have Blizzard, Blizzara, Blizzaga, and Blizzaja. And it's really hard to type with a band-aid on my finger. Then we have Thunder, Thundara. No, not the sword. Thundaga and Thundaja. Alright, what else do we get to have? Then we've got Poison, Toad, Death, Flare. Poison, Toad, Death, Flare. And unfortunately, we're probably going to have to write some unique rules for these. Although we may be able to borrow some. For example, Toad, we can simply take the rules from Polymorph. That should be easy. Poison... well, actually, Poison is simple. We'll just have to borrow rules from Poison. It'll take a fortitude check to resist it. Death is going to be very simple, although probably very expensive, and probably have a very low save. And I know that sounds cheap. However, keep in mind that although your enemies will also be able to resist this very easily, they can use it against you. So keep that in mind. All right, let's take a look here. How we want to do this. So the first thing we got to really decide is how we're going to arrange this. We have 16 we have 16 of these, and we need to kind of divide them up across all of these. The easiest way I can think to do it, actually, would be like this. I mean, it may be a bit much, but I think it's possible. Could work well. Also, my music stopped. Why did the music stop? Oh, there it goes again. It's because whoever cut together this little concerto of all the different Final Fantasy themes, they did it with a cleaver. Okay, that's fine though. So if we do that, that just leaves us these. And what I think I'm going to do is I think that I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put poison here, then toad, and then death and flare can go right there. Now, I'm doing this kind of... It's not set in stone. But I need to move these things around here like this, because now we got to work on some numbers. And the reason we got to work on some numbers is because we have to have some way for these to actually kind of work their way up. And I've got to figure out a way to kind of balance them. Because these could quickly become very, very powerful very, very fast. After all, if you only needed to be a 4th level Black Mage to cast Firaja, Blizzaja, Thundaja, and I make these like 5d10s, that means like a level 5 character could then be casting 5d10s worth of damage. And that would just be bad. Like, very bad. So what I think is going to happen is going to be this. I think it's going to be level-based. I think we'll do something like this. I think that the Fire, Blizzard, and Thunder could be D4s, D6s, D8, and D10. And I kind of like that. Yeah, I kind of like that a lot. See, balancing spells is super hard. It's one of the reasons why a lot of DMs do not like to play with new spells, even though I try to encourage it. because balancing spells is really, really super difficult. There are some general rules. However, a lot of those general rules are not going to work for this. For example, some of the general rules that they use is like, there are damage levels. For example, most of your cantrips don't do more than like a D3. For a level 1 spell, you're usually using D6s, but it usually gets limited to like a max of 5 D6s. Sometimes. Or maybe that's level 2. Maybe level 1 is only level, or D4s. I actually think level 1 is D4s. So I don't know how we're necessarily going to do this. Just look at magic. Let's see, choosing spells. What about creating spells? Because I'm sure they have something in here for that. Maybe. Might be under game mastering, actually. So what if we shrink this? Game mastering? No. Alright, never mind. Magic. Let's see. Building, modifying constructs, variant magic rules, tools, spell list filters. No, that doesn't help. Okay, never mind then. Not going to get any help there. So, if we have 5 levels and we can roughly break down what levels these things would be, then the level 1 wizard will be the equivalent of, say, a level 1 wizard, or a level 1 black mage would be basically like a level 1 wizard. Okay? So if we look at level 1 spells, we look for evocations, because that's what, you know, all these are. They're going to be evocations. Burning Hands. Right. D4. So 1d4 per level of fire damage to a max of 5d4. And I think that's pretty standard. Yeah, Magic Missile is 1d4 to a max of 5 missiles. Shocking Grasp is 1d6 per level, but it's a touch spell, so that's why it gets to do a little bit more damage. Alright, so 1d4s I think is roughly the best. So we'll go with 1d4 let's see. And we'll go with plus 1d4 okay. So plus 1d4 for every black mage level. Okay? So that means that actually, you know what? I don't think we even need this much. What if we just do this? 1d4 for every black mage level. That means that level 1, you get access to thunder, or you get access to fire, blizzard, thunder, and each one does 1d4 damage. If you become a second level, that means that you get access to Fyra, Blizzara, Thundara. However, your fire now does 2d4. You know what? I'm just going to try this, and we'll see how this works out. So 1d6 every black mage level. Firaga, 1d8 every black Mage level. And then I do believe that the next up would be or wait, hold on. I think it's not. Does it go 1d6 and then 2d4 actually? It might go that way. I'm not going to do it that way. I like it this way better. JP says, I once learned that a D4 is way worse step-on than Lego. Oh, yeah. I mean, D4 are literally just caltrops. They're just caltrops that we decide to play with. And I do mean that in every literal sense of the word. Like, the very first caltrops that were used were just pyramids. Specifically triangular pyramids, because it doesn't really matter how you throw it, they always land pointy side up. And eventually those were refined into being spikes. They basically just took out all the filling in the middle and they made it a spike pyramid. So you'd always have 3 on the ground and 1 pointing up. They're not very strong, but they don't need to be. They just need for you to step on them. That's it. Once you step on it, it doesn't really matter if it gets flattened as long as one spike goes straight up. So yeah, if you're ever being chased and you happen to have a handful of D4s, throw them up behind you. Okay. So that means that once we look on this, or as we look at this, and I'm going to go ahead and move this over a bit. That means that here we can say a max of 5d4. This will be a max of 4d6. Max 3d8 and a max of 2d10. Which means that fire could max out at 20 damage. Let's see, Fyra could max out at 24 damage. Firaga maxes out at 24 damage. And Viraja maxes out at 20 damage. Okay, that doesn't actually work. Because these should be getting stronger as we go up. So I think these two are fine. What if we did go with 2d4? Would that make any difference? So if we went with 2d4... That is a max of, then, 6d4, which again is also 24. So, no, that doesn't really make it better. And JP says, note to self, figure out how to make explosives to Caltra, or how to add explosive to Caltrops. You know those little poppers that you see around the 4th of July, where you throw them at the ground and they pop? I'd investigate that. I think it's literally just like gunpowder and gravel that's inside of those. I'm not sure. I never really took one apart, and I don't think that I would know what I was looking at even if I did. But I think it's like just gunpowder and like gravel or flint or something. So you throw it at the ground, the flint rubs together, I guess maybe sparks, and it pops? I'm not sure. I'm not a chemist. But I did make a chemist. So that's got to count for something, right? Alright, so if we need to go higher, and it can't just be 1d8, if we went with 2d6, that would literally just double the damage from Fyra. So instead of having a max of 24, it would be a max of 48. Okay. I mean, that is something that we could do. Unless... What if we tried something different? Okay, what if we do this? What if instead... What if I make this a D10? 1D10. Okay, why not? Now, if the max is 2D10... Wow, did it really just change that on me? I don't think it did. So now the max is going to be 3D10. And I mistyped that. Because I have a band-aid on my finger and I can't type. So now this maxes out at 30 damage. And then... Okay, so we have to go higher than 30 damage now. That means that if we went up to a D12, we'd have a max of 2 D12s. That's only 24. That's not going to work. If we went with 2 D6s, that would be a max of 4 D6s. 4 times 6 is only 24. That's not going to work. But what if we went with 2d8? 2d8 would come out to be 4d8. 4 times 8 is 32, and that technically gets us over there. So 2d8 is an option. And if we went with 2d10 instead, that'd be a max of 4d10. That would be a max of 40. So we go from 30 to 40 damage. I don't want to do that. This is harder than I thought it would be. I'm going to go with the 2d8 right now. Go with 2d8 every black mage level to a max of 4d8. Which again is only 32 damage, and that's only 2 points over the Firaga. I don't like the way that feels. But it does seem to be kind of in line. So this is 24... Or no, wait, that's 20. 20, 24, 30, 32. There should be more of an escalation here, I think. But then again, maybe not. I don't know. I'm going to leave it. Blizz says 2d10. If I did 2d10, then that means that at level 5... Oh, wait. 2d10 for Firaga? I mean... I would have to go back to Fyra, actually, to start doing that, because we would want to go from just the 20 damage for fire to a much higher damage cap for Fyra. What if we did want to what if we did want to double it? Okay? So we know we only have 4. What if we doubled it? That would make this 40. Okay? So what if we wanted to make this 40 instead? That means that at the max level we would have to divide that by 4. Which would make this one 1d10. We can try that. And we'll work on the numbers. So, 1d10. Which means that this would be a max of... Yeah, JP says work with the damage caps you want, then work backwards to dice. That's what we're doing now. Max of 4d10. Now, do we double Firaga, or do we just increase it by another 20? If we were to double it, that would make it 80. And 80 does not divide well by 3. But 60 does. So if we go with 60, then that actually makes this very easy. We can go with a d20. So Firaga will roll a 1d20. Which honestly does give it a lot of variability. You could roll really high with that, you could roll really low with that. And if we make this one 80, and it has to be divided by 2, that actually makes this kind of easy, because that just means that this has become 2d20. And that would make this a max of 4 d20. It's a big jump when it comes to the numbers on the dice, but that does actually work out really well. Then, if we come down here to the Black Mage and start looking at these numbers... MP cost is 6, 12, 24, 48. So we got spell, MP cost, damage, cap. So that means that at level 1, a Black Mage would get 50 magic points by default. That's no increases from any kind of stats whatsoever. So that means that a Black Mage at level 1 would be able to cast, let's see, fire with an MP cost of 6. They'd be able to cast 8 fires. Each one doing 1d4 points of damage. Fire damage, obviously. At level 2, the Black Mage would get another 50 magic points, and could cast Fire, also 8 times, I think? I think you can divide 100 by 12 and get 8. With a remainder, of course. For Firaga, we're talking about 150 divided by 24. That's actually super easy, because 100 divided by 24 is 4. Add 2 more. So that's 6 Firagas at level 3. And at level 4, you could do 4 Firajas. And at level 5... that will put you up to 250 magic points, which is a quarter of the way to the max cap of 1,000, or just shy of 1,000 actually. And you'd be able to cast upwards of 5 Firajas. Which, 5 Firajas, you're talking about 20 d20s worth of damage. That is... kind of broken. It's kind of a lot broken. Especially since, let's think about this. If you are a level 5 Black Mage, that means that your character level would be about 6. Okay? 1 level of Chemist, 5 levels of Black Mage. And you're capable of doing 20 d20 worth of damage in 1 day. That is a total of 400 points of damage. That is a lot of damage. Now, when we look at HP, that means that a level 6 knight on the other side. So they should have, let's see, what does the squire get? The squire gets a d8 hit dice, so it's average. And the knight will get d10s. So let's say if we max out their HP. So you've got 40 points of hit, or 40 hit points, no, 50 hit points from 5 levels of knight. 8 hit points from 1 level of squire. That is 58 hit points. Before any constitution bonus you get. Which means that a Firaga, or a Firaja from a level 6 black mage could one-shot a knight a level 6 knight at max HP, like the absolute tippy top. Even if we went through and gave them max constitution, so they got an additional 4 hit points per turn. That means that 4 times 6 is 24, plus the 58. 24 plus 58 is going to be 74. 4 plus 8 means 82 hit points, which means that a max damage Firaja would just barely be survivable by an absolutely max HP level 6 knight. And it absolutely would not survive twice. It would literally be impossible to survive twice. That could be a bit of a problem. I mean, I'm actually on a certain level, I'm okay with this. Because I do like my wizards to be really powerful. I think that you should be terrified of a wizard. I also think that the wizard should be terrified of you. Because the wizard should know that if its spell does not kill you, you are absolutely going to kill it. I mean, I am a big fan of glass cannon wizards. Emphasis on the cannon and emphasis on the glass. And a D6 for a wizard is actually better than Pathfinder gives. I am inclined to let this roll, though. I think this could be fine. Gotta keep in mind that, your characters will be also facing the same thing. So we may have to rebalance this later on. But for the time being, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let this ride. Now, now we get to the weird ones. Flare is actually going to be the easiest one because Flare is going to do a cap of 100 damage. And since it only has 1 level, that means that Flare will have to do 5d20. And you can't see that. Hold on. There we go. Flare will have to do 5d20. There's like no other way to do it unless we do 10d10s. Actually, would you like to do 10d10s? I like 10d10s, actually. That's better. Everyone likes throwing dice. We'll do 10d10s. And I don't want to take your survey. Get this out of here. Flare is going to cost 60 MP. Alright, very good. Now for some of the tougher ones. Okay, poison. Poison costs 6. Toad costs 12. Death costs 24. Death is literally cheap. Alright, so poison is going to be a fortitude save, so it's going to be a fortitude save DC. What do we want to make the DC on this? Probably a DC 10, I think. Because it can be spammed. So, Fortitude DC 10. And because we are talking about poisons that want to kill you, and it is just kind of your bog standard poison, we're going to say this is going to go on the con track. Which, if we don't remember, and we come over here, let's see. I think it's going to be under Game Mastering. Afflictions. Poisons. Applying poisons, multiple doses of poisons, harvesting poisons, crafting antivenoms. Or no, wait, it's diseases that run on tracks. Okay, these just do straight damage. Okay. Hold on. Okay, so if we're just going to do ability damage with this one, maybe we do things a little bit differently. What if we randomized it a bit? Okay, what if we're going to make this a little bit less lethal than I thought it was going to be. Here's what we're going to do. So it's going to be 1 ability damage per turn for 1d6 turns. And move this down here like this. Actually, no, further than that. And we'll just have to roll 1d6, I suppose. Move this down one more. And it'll just be 1, 2, 3. No, don't do that. Stop moving. I'm losing control of my entire spreadsheet here. Wait, undo that. 1, 2, 3. And we'll just drag this down here. Strength. Dexterity. Constitution, intelligence. It would take intelligence to actually spell intelligence right, though. Wisdom, Charisma. So, if you get poisoned for 1d6 turns, and every turn you have to roll 1d6, and you'll take 1 point of damage to one of these at random. Which means that it won't target any one of them completely, which means that there's a really, really slim chance that poison actually kills you. And of course, since we have antidotes, if you have an antidote handy, you can basically cure it instantly. And so that works well. Next up is going to be Toad, and for Toad, we can actually come back here and use a reference. So we're going to come back to... Actually, hold on. Can we go back to that? There we go. Sorcerer Wizard spells. And we're going to look for Poly. Polypurpose Panacea. Nope. Polymorph Familiar. True Form. Adjustable Polymorph. Baleful Polymorph. Polymorph. Here we go. Polymorph gives one willing subject. Let's see. You can use this spell to take a form. We know how polymorph works. This spell has no effect on unwilling creatures, nor can the creature targeted by the spell influence the new form assumed. Okay, so not this one then. Adjustable polymorph, but you can change it. Baleful polymorph. Turn subject into a harmless animal. Here we go. Baleful polymorph. The duration is permanent. This is as Beast Shape 3, except that you can change the subject into a small or smaller animal of no more than 1 hit dice. That's a frog! Let's see. If the new form proved fatal to the creature, such as an aquatic creature not in water, the subject gets a +4 bonus on the save. If the spell succeeds, the subject must also make a will save. If the second save fails, the creature loses its extraordinary supernatural or spell-like abilities, loses its abilities to cast spells, if it had any, gains the alignment, special abilities, and intelligence, wisdom, and charisma scores of its new form in place of its own. Meaning that you would get turned into an actual frog. You would lose everything that you are. Okay. So, any polymorph effects in the creature are automatically dispelled when the target fails to resist the effects of Baleful Polymorph. As long as Baleful Polymorph remains in effect, the target cannot use other polymorph spells or effects to assume a new form. This works. I think that we can lift this whole cloth, and it should work. Yeah. So, as Baleful Polymorph. And that's super simple. Now, Death. This is one that we have to be careful with. Because this could easily get out of hand. Gotta keep in mind that a level 5 Black Mage should have about 250 MP. Actually a little bit more. It'll have a little bit more because Chemist will start with 25. So technically a level 5 Black Mage at level 6, which is the lowest level you could get there, would have 275, meaning that a Black Mage could cast Death 11 times. And if it does just cause death, that would be really, really super powerful. So what I think we're going to do is this. Remember how, as the Baleful Polymorph showed, there's a Fortitude save to negate it, and a Will save for a partial effect. I think what we're going to do is this. Death is going to have a DC 10. It's going to be a Fortitude save, DC 10, and a Will save, DC 10. If you fail both of them, you're dead. But that does mean that there should be a really good chance that somebody can actually survive this. In fact, I might even go ahead and throw in the reflex save there. Why not? Let's see. Yeah, go ahead and do that. Alright, so you get a reflex DC 10 to dodge it, you get a fortitude save to withstand it, and a will save to resist it. If you fail all three, you're simply dead. Which means that everybody should get one really good save against death. But if you fail the trifecta, your character is just gone. Now, that being said, we haven't even gotten to the White Mage yet. And the White Mage should be able to bring people back. But I think this is really good. I think this is really good. So there we go. I mean, I think that kind of does it for the Black Mage. We've got more or less everything we need. We've got their grid done. We've got magic points worked out. We've got all their different spells. We can get rid of this. We don't need this anymore. We don't need that. We don't need that. But we will need that column. So, we can do this. Actually, no, we can do this. This is better. We're going to go ahead and move this over. This will do. And then we will simply copy... No, wait, we won't do that. Everything over here is going to get moved over here. There we go. Then we can go ahead and format this. We'll leave that as is. We can go ahead and make a nice little thing there. Nope, leave that there. We'll put a nice border around this. Then we can move this up here. And there we go. Black Mage. Done. Mostly. It's done enough. But I think that looks like a good Black Mage, and I think it's going to be very lethal. Very lethal. The only thing that is kind of saving it is the fact that it doesn't have any armor, it doesn't have any weapons, the only spell it's got, or the only offense that it has, are these incredibly powerful spells. The downside to that, of course, is that if you run out of MP, meaning that Firaja might be incredibly lethal at level 6, but if you only get like 5 shots with it, man, you better hope that everything is dead after 5 shots. Because if it ain't dead, you got nothing left. Because like even in Pathfinder or Dungeons and Dragons, wizards tend to have defensive spells. They'll have things like, you know, mage armor or magic shield, or they'll be able to blur themselves or make mirror images of themselves. The Black Mage has got none of that. It is purely offensive. Like, to a terrifying degree. This is the kind of class that I would not necessarily recommend you specialize in. It could be great. It could also be really bad. But let's go ahead and add this one to the list. I'll paste it in. Right? Yep, there we go. Alright, there it is. Black Mage. You know what? I just thought of something. I'm going to adjust my window here a little bit. Because you guys don't actually need to see some of this stuff. Stop doing that. How do I do this? Let's see, I don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. Edit the transformation? Oh, wait, here we go. I can just crop the top of the spreadsheet because you guys don't need to see all of that on top. And that'll give a little bit more viewing space. There we go. Much better. I mean, you don't have to see all the formatting tools and everything. You don't care about that. Alright, so we got that done. Fortunately, I think we can actually leave a lot of this in place. We can get rid of that. We're going to go to the white mage. A lot of this is going to remain in place. Let's see. Any alignment, of course. Hit die prerequisites are the same. Class skills might actually change. That, however, won't. This will. And this will. Okay, that will absolutely change. Over here, I know for a fact that this is going to go away. However, this stuff might not. We're going to look at that in just a moment. No, actually, I take it back. I'm going to delete it all anyway. Never mind. So these saves are going to remain the same because it is going to be a squishy class. Class skills, though. I think I'm going to go to the cleric for the class skills. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to cleric. Since clerics are kind of the healers in Dungeons & Dragons, and Pathfinder, then we'll do this. Now, that is not to say that clerics are specifically healers. Just in case you were ever operating under that misunderstanding. Clerics are not just healers. As a matter of fact, clerics can outdamage fighters and barbarians if they're built right. Never, ever, ever, ever underestimate the cleric. So I'm going to copy these class skills over, and we're going to do this. And then we're going to go ahead and default format that. So good. All right. Sorry, I had to make sure the stream was still working. I got a little bit worried there for a minute. Okay, that's all good. Weapon proficiency, armor proficiency, I'm sure that all stays the same. So we're going to come back here. We're going to go to the White Mage. We'll take a look at the stats. Alright, so level 2 Chemist, level 1 for us. Staves, hats, clothes, robes, which means they don't have any kind of armor, no shields, no weapons, no nothing. They are as they are. Base attack is average. Interesting, actually. Base attack is average? Was the base attack average with the Black Mage, too? Black Mage. Base attack is low. How interesting is that? White Mages actually have a higher base attack than Black Mages. I didn't see that coming. Okay, so we actually do have to change these. Because base attack, for average and high, they get a +1 every level. So that's +1, +2, +3, +4, +5. And there we go. That means, are there fortitude saves and everything? We're going to use the cleric for that. And clerics are 202, 303. And 303. Then they go 313. And then 414. And they stay 414. And Tuck says, oh yes, White Mage has been slightly more scrappy than the Black Mage in every edition of Final Fantasy, at least the early ones. I didn't play the early ones. Technically speaking, the earliest Final Fantasy that I ever played was Tactics. Because it happened to be off, it was available on the PlayStation Store with the PlayStation 3. And I always wanted to play Tactics, so I got it while I had the chance. I did try to play Final Fantasy 1. Once. Just once. And I don't know what happens or how it works in Final Fantasy 1, but I know that you leave the castle. You leave the castle, and then I guess you're supposed to travel right. You travel right, you don't go into the forest. I remember that the castle, there's a forest to the west of it. And you're supposed to travel right. You go east. But I didn't know that. Like, if there was a hint that you're supposed to go east, I didn't know. So I came out of the castle with my little level 1 party, and I went west into the forest. And we ran into some like level 8 goblins or something like that. They just completely wiped out my entire party. We got like 2 turns in. Never got a chance to escape or anything like that. And I'm just like, yep. I'm going to go play something else. So I kind of didn't do any of the earlier Final Fantasies. Anything that was sprite-based, I didn't do it. So my first Final Fantasy was technically 8. And then I went back and played 7. And then I played 9 forward until I got to 13 and Final Fantasy got really stupid. So my knowledge of the classes that you started off with is really actually kind of limited. Tuck says, easy to miss because you're not intending to use the white mage in a fight. But the white mage totally beats the black mage in a fist fight. That is hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious. Oh man, that puts Dragon Ball Z Abridged in a whole new light. You don't F with the white mage. Alright. Well, now that we've got that set, let's get these actual abilities down. So, of course, we have Cure, Cura, Curaja, and Curaja. Okay. That's obvious. Luz is in the house and calls us nerds. I'll take that as a compliment, actually. By the way, hello! I don't think I've ever seen you before. Welcome to the stream. We're making a game here. So we got Cure, Cura, Curaga, and Curaja. Oh, Luz is just stopping by to update the stream. Fantastic. I will take it. You know what? I didn't even update my own stream. Hold on, let me do that. Bink. There we go. I liked my own stream. I mean, if I don't like it, then what am I doing? Alright, so raise and arise and re-raise. So raise, arise, and re-raise. I wonder what those are for. It's been a long time since I played Tactics. Regen, protect, and protectja. So regen, protect, protectja. That is literally how it's spelled. Shell, shellja, and wall. Shell, shellja, wall. Isuna, and holy. Alright, so that is a long list. Not quite as long as the Black Mage, but still rather useful. Oh, by the way, this should not be damage cat. That should just be damage. And actually, damage is not the right word here because we're working with white mage, so this should just be effect. Alright, starting at the top. So, Cure, Cura, Curaga, Curaja. MP cost is 610, 16, 20. I could not have left this in from the Black Mage if I wanted to. Wasn't an option. However, one thing that I think I can do... One thing that I think that I can do is I can go ahead and use the same numbers over again. So what if we come over here and just borrow this? And just go copy. And paste. Now, of course, we'll have to go through and change this a little bit. So we'll go with white. And we'll have to change this for every one of these. Oh no! I'm whitewashing the Black Mage. Somebody cancel me, quick! Alright, so that should be pretty easy. And I kind of like the way that works. Something else that we should probably do is arrange this. So, cure, cura, curaga, curaja. Okay? Next up here, we've got 3 of these. So we've got raise, arise, and re-raise. What do these do? So raise restores 50% of max HP. Arise restores 100% of max HP. And re-raise has re-raise. What the hell does that mean? When a character with the re-raise status falls to 0 HP, they will automatically revive without expending items or MP. The amount of health varies per game. Okay. Let's see. Here we go. Tactics. Re-raise status automatically revive a fallen unit after their CT count reaches 100% during the dying status. Oh, that's right, because I forgot. In Tactics, a character that hits 0 isn't technically dead yet. Right, okay. And my mouse has stopped working. Why has my mouse stopped working? It's always something with you, isn't it? I love this computer, but this computer has some issues. That's okay, though. I know how to fix this. You working yet? No? No, you're not working yet. Oh, there it goes. Okay, it figured itself out. I hate it when it does that. Let's see. So this unit will revive with 1/10 of their maximum HP. Well, this is going to be a little bit different, I think. So I think what we're going to do instead is, instead of bringing a character back to life, because that's pretty significant in Pathfinder, I think what we'll do is this. With raise, it'll automatically stabilize to 0 HP. Now, of course, death and dying in Pathfinder is a little bit differently. At 0 HP, you're still conscious, you're staggered. Which means that, technically speaking, if you were to cast Raise on somebody who is simply dying, then they would stop dying, go up to 0 HP, and then they could get up off the ground and stagger away. Arise, however, I think we'll do it like this. We'll say while dying, automatically stabilized to 0 HP. Arise, on the other hand, will require, or will do a little bit more. So instead of bringing you up to 100% of your health, I think... Well, no. Actually, how do we want to do this? How do we want to do this? I gotta think about this for a minute. Because I don't want to make it too overpowered and broken, and the ability to simply bring people back to life would be a little on the broken side. At least in terms of Pathfinder. Then again, death is kind of cheap in Final Fantasy. People die all the time. Although that's regular Final Fantasy. In Tactics, characters who actually die stay dead. Yeah, actually, Raise just says it removes KO. It does not remove death. So that's what we're going to do. Okay. In that case, Arise is going to do something similar. So, while dying, automatically stabilize. Yeah, we're gonna start with that. And let's see, and heal. Now, how much is it going to heal? I don't know. And Tuck says it depends on if the death is story related or not. Plot has armor. Well, in Final Fantasy Tactics, actually, death or plot does not have armor. The way it worked in Tactics is if one of the main characters died, you lost. And you went all the way back and had to replay it. They didn't necessarily have plot armor, you just could not let them die. They were not further protected than any other character. So if we're going to look at this, let's figure out where we would put it. I could put Raise. Okay, here's what I think I want to do. Raise, Arise, and Re-Raise. So Raise cost 10, Re-Raise costs 16, and Arise costs 20. So here's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to put Raise here. I'm going to put Re-Raise here and Arise there. The reason I'm going to do that is so that I can say, if you use... Well, hold on a second. No, let me think about this. Arise costs 20. Which means that I don't want to give it like a free Kiraja. Actually, you know what? I don't even need to do this. I can actually make this really easy. Check this out. we can have them stabilize to 1 HP. Because at 0, you're staggered. Okay? However, at 1 HP, and this is where things get a little bit different, or a little bit weird, because, you know, it is a game, and it is reliant on numbers. But at exactly 1 HP, you have your full turn. You're not staggered or anything. So raise will bring you up to 0 and staggered. A rise will bring you up to 1 and you have your full turn, which means that you can move and do something. Maybe you can avenge yourself. Maybe you can heal yourself. Maybe you can just double move and get the hell out of there. So there we go. That's the difference. And by the way, raise is 10. This one's 20. This one is 16. And let's see, re-raise. Since there is no limit on the time span for this, as far as I can tell, I guess I could just make this good for 1 day. No. No, not 1 day. That'd be too much. What about 1 minute? 1 minute per White Mage level. Which means that at level 5 for the White Mage, re-raise would last for 3 minutes. That is 30 turns. I like that. Okay, so effect raise for 1 minute per White Mage level. Max 3 minutes. There we go. And so that takes care of all of that. And you know what? We missed something. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. So the White Mage and the Black Mage are two sides of the same coin. The White Mage wants to give life, the Black Mage wants to take life. I think I figured out how we do death. Okay? I think I figured out how we do death. Let's go back to the Black Mage for a minute. Okay? Here's how we're going to do this. We're going to move this down here. Here's how death is going to work. Reduce HP to -1. There we go. So you get 3 saves versus death. And if you fail all 3, your HP gets immediately reduced to -1. You hit the ground and you are dying now. Which means that per Pathfinder rules, you have a certain number of turns to stabilize or just die. Now, the fact that you can technically stabilize on your own means that death is now a little bit easier to resist. However, the DC when you're dying goes up 1 point every point you're negative. So the longer you bleed out, the harder it gets. I think this works really well. This means that, technically speaking, your black mage can throw out death everywhere. It's not going to be nearly as lethal as it was before, and if you have a white mage, your white mage can also fight back. It also means that we can keep the normal rules for death, which is if your character dies and is revived somehow, if it's resurrected in some way, you can still take a level penalty. Or if your character dies, you just want to leave it dead, then, there you go. I think this works. I think this works really well. Okay, regen. Regen costs 8. 8. I know my numbers. Let's see. Regen will give fast healing 1 per white mage level. Now, regen, I think I'm going to put down here. Maybe. No. No, I'm not. Regen, I'm going to put here. Meaning that this can be a max of fast healing 3. The reason I'm going to do that is because I want to come down here and put protect, shell, and then protectja, shellja. Wait. No, actually that doesn't work. That doesn't work. That has to go there. Because wall has to go there. And I just screwed up my borders, so let me fix that. Yeah, wall has to go there because that is protect and shell at the same time. So regen, let's see. Okay, we got those done. We'll have to write these in first, but we got that done. That just leaves regen, Isuna, and holy. I'm tempted to put regen here. Isuna here. And holy, of course, down here. So that means that technically this can be fast healing 5. Which is good. Fast healing 5 is good. Fast healing 5 could be a huge advantage. Now, protect and protectja. It is 6 and 24. Shell and shellja are 6 and 20. Wall is 24. Isuna is 18. And holy is 56. Alright, so protect and protectja are super simple. So protect is just going to give you plus 2 AC. Let's see. It'll actually give plus 2 AC and plus 2 fortitude. And protectja, I think I'll go ahead and double that. So plus 4 AC and plus 4 fort. And I know that Protect You costs 4 times as much, but I'm not going to give you a +8. This is just not happening. Now, Shell. Shell, on the other hand... Shell is going to give you a damage reduction. So Shell will do a DR2 versus... Well, actually, is DR2 enough? Alright, so Shell... At the level of Shell, you get that at level 2. What are the Black Mages doing? Black Mages are doing upwards of 40 damage. Shell generally halves it. So we're going to go with not a DR of 2, but a DR of 20 versus magic. And I think I might go ahead and... I might call it black magic, but just... I'm just going to say magic for now. I may have to change that later on. And then Shellja will be damage resistance of 40 versus magic. And then Wall, because Wall is going to be both of those at once, it's going to be +3 AC, +3 Fortitude, and DR 30 versus magic. Meaning that you could get better by casting them both at once. However, casting them both at once would cost you 44 MP, whereas Wall will only cost you 24 on its own. So that's good. Isuna. For Isuna, we're going to reference our chemist. Because Isuna is basically just a remedy. And I just put remove conditions for that. So that's what we're going to go with. So remove conditions. And Holy, well, this one's going to be fun, because Holy is just the white mage version of Flare. And so if we come over to Flare, Flare does 10d10 damage. So 10d... Nope, not 101. 10d10. I do believe that this costs 56. Yes, it does. Alright. So again, Holy, really, really awesome. However, at a cost of 56, you could cast it maybe 5 times in a day. You'd have to be really dedicated to being a white mage to even unlock it. But I do think that this works well. The Curaga, and Curaja are perfectly mirroring the offensive magic of the Black Mage. All the damage that they can do, the White Mage can undo. Assuming, of course, that their target survives it. If they go below 0 HP, either because of damage or because of death, a raise spell can simply bring them back up. And they can do this more times, I think, than the black mage can put them down. Of course, this also applies to damage done in other ways, too, which means that battles could become really protracted. You might want to find a way to kill the white mage first, is what I'm saying. Target the healer. Regen. While it might not be as flashy as the cure spells, fast healing of 5 basically means that any damage that you want to do to somebody, you better do 5 or more points, because at the beginning of their next turn, it's gone. Oh, we should also... There also needs to be a time limit on this. Yeah. So let's go ahead and copy this, so that I can paste it here. And this could last 5 minutes. Which is basically the entire fight. 5 minutes is 50 turns. There's not that many fights that go that long. There's not many fights that go for 30 turns. There's just really not. But okay, I think that looks good. What do you think? Is that a good-looking white mage? I think it's a good-looking white mage. And I think we got everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 4, 6, 10, 12, 15. Okay, yeah, we got all of them. I think we can call that good. So we'll copy this one over. We'll add it over here. And there's the white mage. All told, I think this is really good. I'm actually kind of getting excited for this. This could be an absolutely insane game, especially with the numbers that we're throwing around right now. With the amount of damage output that a black mage can put out and the amount of healing that a white mage can put out, I can see people going up and down all over the place. And we haven't even gotten into things like the summoner. Because if you think the black mage is insane, oh boy, the summoner is going to be able to actually summon things to the field. That also means that when we do the summoner, that we're actually going to have to like make summons, because I'm not going to have them come in for like one big attack and then go away, because why? No. We're actually going to be able to summon things to the field. You want Ifrit? Bam! There's Ifrit. He's right there. And you get to control him. That'll mean he'll also be a target. It also means your enemies will be able to do the same thing. So, keep that in mind. There's not too many Final Fantasy games where you come across enemies who can actually summon against you. But since we're doing a tabletop game, yeah, they'll be able to summon against you too. Which means that, picture having, I don't know, Rama on your side and Leviathan on the other side. Giant sea serpent slithering through the air, old guy with a staff. He's shooting lightning at the sea serpent. The serpent is shooting, columns of water back at him, while you and your party are fighting the other team on the other side underneath all of this. Does the term giants in the playground mean anything? Because they will be big. Like, if your character occupies one space, summons, I think, should start at a minimum of, like, a 4x4 grid. They should be the absolute largest things that we can make them. Let's see. Let's see, alignment and description. No. Where's sizes? Because I forget all the different sizes. I know that Colossal's the largest. Let's see. I don't know. I'll figure it out later. However big it is, that's however big they're going to be. They're going to be absolutely massive. But I think that does it for today. I think we're going to go ahead. We're going to take a break here. And when we come back next time... Oh, wait, this tab. Since we got the Black Mage and the White Mage done today, next time we'll do the Knight and the Archer. Which should be fun. I'm not sure what the Archer's got going for it, but I got high hopes for it. The Archer should have lots of fun things to play with. We can take a look at that real quick. Archer. Abilities. Aim. Sure, I guess. Aim +1, all the way up to aim +20? I guess it just, let's see. Carefully aim or to strike for increased damage. Attack power increases with longer charge time? Tux says, I suspect the Archer does damage from range. I mean, I suspect that too, but maybe it's a very special Archer. Maybe it literally just beats people to death with the bow. I'm not sure. Let's see. It deals damage like attack, increased by the weapon's attack times level of ability. For example, a weapon with the 10 attack, aim +1 would deal 10 more damage. 20 with aim 2. Swiftness does not make aim activate quicker. I don't know. I have to look up further how this actually works because aim is literally the only ability it gets. It's got to be some kind of multiplier, I think. Either way, not our job to deal with it right now. That is going to be the job for next week. So with that, I guess we're going to go ahead and take a break here. That way, you can get out of here. You can enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. I can get out of here, enjoy my Memorial Day weekend. I don't even know what's going on anymore. My entire life is lived between a pair of headphones, so I don't even know what's going on in my world. Either way, though, do go out and enjoy your weekend. I hope you have a good one. Be safe during it. And I do mean safe in every method of the word. Be physically safe. Be legally safe. I need everybody to come back and watch my videos later. What, you thought this was selfless? No, it's very selfish. So, if you haven't already, do subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, that way you get notified of every video when they come out. If you've already done that, and you feel generous, share this video with somebody else who you think might enjoy it, but otherwise, leave a like if you haven't done so already, leave a comment down below, and I will see you all next week for the Knight and the Archer. Until then, take care.